Hello, and welcome to Select 10. This video will cover our thoughtfully selected list of the top 10 science fiction blockbusters as far as entertainment value, which are sure to grab the attention of viewers with their imaginative universes and never-before-heard-of concepts. These are some of the must-see science fiction films you should watch right now if you haven't already. So get ready to take off on an incredible interstellar adventure with our selection of the best sci-fi films. Now let's start the video. Number 10. The Divergent series. It is a film series based on the Divergent books by Veronica Roth. The trilogy consists 3 sci-fi action movies, Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant, based in a futuristic world. To avoid spoilers, we will only discuss the first film, Divergent. The first movie presents viewers with an alternate universe, in which groups are formed according to the following personality qualities: erudite, the intelligent, candor, the honest, abnegation, the selfless, amity, the peaceful, and dauntless, the brave. The central character is Beatrice Triss Pryor, who learns she is divergent, that is, she doesn't correctly belong to any one faction. Meanwhile, Triss decides to enlist in Dauntless and goes through rigorous training until she discovers a conspiracy by the erudite group to destroy the divergent community and conquer the leadership of the nation. Soon, she is caught up in an uphill battle for survival and the destiny of civilization. The series provides a fun adventure through an intriguing, romantic, and action-packed apocalyptic universe. Although the first movie did a better job of building anticipation and fear, the third and second struggled to keep up the same rhythm, which resulted in an underwhelming ending. However, you will be hooked on the story due to its examination of identity, uprisings, and the fallout from social separation. Fans of dystopia and science fiction adventures will find the franchise interesting. Number 9. Battleship. It is a 2012 military sci-fi action film directed by Peter Berg. The movie opens with the finding of a far-off planet while NASA attempts to communicate with it by sending an energetic signal. In the meantime, the plot takes place on Earth and centers on Alex Hopper, a rebellious young man who enlists in the Navy as a result of an ultimatum from his older officer brother, Stone Hopper. Shortly, an extraterrestrial spaceship arrives on Earth during an aquatic drill and constructs an unbreakable power field, capturing multiple vessels, among them the USS John Paul Jones, under Stone Hopper's leadership. With the world in disarray, Alex and his fellow crew members are thrust into the conflict with the extraterrestrial conquerors and set out on a perilous quest to halt the alien invasion and preserve humankind. The film features violent sea battles involving extraterrestrial enemies, providing an explosive and aesthetically pleasing show. The film has amazing visuals and action scenes, but its character building is shallow, and it frequently uses traditional phrases. Nonetheless, it provides sci-fi action enthusiasts with tremendous pleasure and holds their interest throughout. Number 8. In the Shadow of the Moon. It is a 2019 sci-fi thriller film directed by Jim Mickle. The movie centers on a string of enigmatic killings that happen once every 9 years. The story commences in 1988 when Officer Thomas Lockhart finds a female accused who exhibits odd signs until dying unexpectedly. Similar killings happen every 9 years during the years that follow, while Lockhart's concern begins to negatively impact his professional and personal lives. He continues to investigate the case and believes that the killings are connected to a top-secret time-traveling secret program. The story develops as Lockhart fights against time to prevent another series of killings and find out the truth about the mystery. Boyd Holbrook gives an engrossing performance, but some might find the story's twists and turns difficult to follow. However, the clever plot, mystery, and suspense keep viewers interested as it unfolds across various eras, while the overarching concepts of obsession, giving up, and the implications of changing the past provide enough surprises for thinking. Number 7. Men in Black, International. It is a 2019 sci-fi action comedy film directed by F. Gary Gray. It is a standalone follow-up that takes place in the same setting as the previous Men in Black movies, and it is the 4th movie in the franchise. The narrative centers on Tessa Thompson's character, Molly Wright, a rookie agent assigned to the Men in Black London office to receive training. There, she joins forces with Chris Hemsworth's character, seasoned but careless Agent H. Together, they look into a string of extraterrestrial attacks that send them on a global search to find a mole inside the MIB agency. Along the road, they discover startling truths about their organization and have to deal with betrayals, detours, and an imminent danger that might wipe out life as we know it. The movie expands the Men in Black franchise's world and has the trademark mix of comic relief, action, and science fiction aspects that made the first movies so popular. However, the plot feels a little predictable and doesn't have the same amount of creativity as the previous movies. Still, the bond between the protagonists makes for a fun popcorn movie that will please moviegoers seeking an entertaining cinematic experience. Number 6. Sea Fever. It is a 2019 science fiction horror thriller film directed by Nisa Hardiman. The film centers on Xiaoban, a student studying marine science, who, amid the course of her studies, volunteers as a member of the fishing trawler team. While they cruise into the undiscovered seas off the shores of Ireland, the crew comes across a dangerous and strange organism that affects their ship and endangers their lives. As differences increase among those on board and supplies run low, Xiaoban has to conquer her own concerns and gain the confidence of her companion mariners in order to craft a strategy to stop the virus's spreading and preserve their safety. The film maintains its suspenseful mood throughout the narrative, drawing spectators into a confined suspenseful nautical horror. The movie does a fantastic job of creating a sense of unease and loneliness on the fishing ship, which keeps viewers on top of their seats until the terrifying ending. It is a must-watch owing to its great performances, fascinating story, and powerful survival elements. Number 5. Ghost in the Shell. It is a 2017 sci-fi action film directed by Rupert Sanders. The film takes place in an alternate reality where technological implants are everywhere. The plot concerns Major Mira Killian, the very first of her kind superhuman, who has an actual brain installed into an artificial body built by the secretive Hanka Robotics company. Major works for the Ninth Section, a prestigious team charged with examining cybercriminals and dangers to civilization. As Major investigates an incident concerning a cybercriminal, she begins to have issues with memory and starts doubting her true identity and history. Determined to find out everything about where she came from and face the people accountable for her invention, Major uncovers a disturbing revelation concerning cybernetic technology, which leads her to Hanka Robotics. The movie was inspired by Masamune Shiro's manga, a Japanese manga that tackles themes concerning the effects of technology on mankind. The film's story feels too basic, as it finds it difficult to completely delve into the book's topics in broad terms. However, the movie nevertheless maintains the spirit of its source work while being an aesthetically appealing adaptation full of breathtaking visuals and futuristic action-packed moments. Number 4. Life. It is a 2017 science fiction horror film directed by Daniel Espinosa. The story is centered on a group of International Space Station scientists who capture an object transporting ground samples on its way back from Mars. In the samples taken, they find a hibernating one-celled creature and feels enthusiastic about the discovery's possible outcomes, so they begin conducting experiments on it until it soon develops into a living creature. However, when the creature acts aggressively and starts creating havoc on the space station, their enthusiasm turns to terror. While confined inside the station, the team must rely on their creativity to stay alive and stop the alien from getting to Earth. The plot is thrilling and intense, featuring impacting visuals, while expertly creating anticipation, as an apparently inconsequential finding escalates into a frightening struggle for life versus an unstoppable alien attack. Fans of space thrillers and creature movies will find it to be an exciting and deadly adventure, even though the core plot is typical. Number 3. First Man. The movie chronicles astronaut Neil Armstrong's biography and the Apollo 11 expedition, which saw him become the first person to set foot on the moon. The film begins with Ryan Gosling playing Neil Armstrong, an experiment pilot for NASA in the 1960s. During this period, he was impacted by the demise of his child, Karen, from cancer, which put a strain on his marriage. Despite facing personal difficulties, Armstrong was chosen to be an astronaut for NASA's Gemini initiative, and he trains closely with the other scientists in order to get ready for the hardships of going into space. While on missions, Armstrong and his co-workers encounter several mishaps and catastrophes as the space competition between the US and the USSR heats up. The film follows the mission's strenuous arrangements, the stressful moments before the lunar landing, and the significant event when Armstrong says, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," as he sets foot on the moon's surface for the very first time. First Man delves into Armstrong's emotional suffering, his refusal to give up in the face of hardship, and the choices that he and his family made in order to contribute to space travel. Number 2. Mr. Nobody. It is a 2009 sci-fi drama film directed by Jaco van Dormel. The narrative centers on Nemo Nobody, who is 118 years old and thinks about his distant past, which is depicted across numerous periods and various perspectives as he tells an author about his entire life. In one scenario, when both of his parents divorce, young Nemo must decide whether to go out with his father or remain with his mother. Based on this choice, the movie explores several possibilities and how Nemo's life may have turned out in every single one. The film makes it difficult to distinguish between real and imagined events, thus, it is up to the audience to analyze, while the film's asymmetrical narration might demand several watchings to fully understand. But its rich concepts and intellectual themes offer plenty of ideas for discussion. Jared Leto gives a fascinating portrayal as Nemo Nobody, and the story makes an impact that lasts long after the final credits have rolled by making the audience consider the concepts of time, knowledge, and the interconnection of decisions. Number 1. Ready Player One. It is a 2018 sci-fi action film based on Ernest Cline's book of the same name. The story begins in 2045, a time of extreme poverty, overcrowding, and pollution. Many humans enter the Oasis, an enormous augmented reality world built by the strange inventor, James Halliday, as a means of escaping their depressing surroundings. After his passing, Halliday discloses that he placed a special gift in the Oasis that will grant its finder access to an online world of vast riches. The primary character of the story is Wade Watts, a gamer who sets out to figure out Halliday's riddles and obstacles after becoming fixated on discovering the clue. However, his journey presents them with formidable obstacles and pits him against the evil organization IOI, headed by the merciless Nolan Sorrento, who wants to take over the Oasis for financial gain. All things considered, it's a breathtakingly spectacular adventure with hidden hints inserted from well-known films, video games, and songs to give fans of 80s pop culture even more fun. The film finds a balance between spectacular adventure and heartbreaking scenes of love and friendship. The action-packed sequence and the visual effects are stunning, taking viewers into an eye-catching and lifelike digital universe. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.